Grand Rising, everyone. It's a beautiful day. We're out here on a morning walk in the desert. I'm right near Cottonwood. I moved out of Sedona and I'm in Cottonwood, though my goal is to get back to My goal is to get back to Sedona, probably in the next year. So I just wanted to give you all an update. Lots of things happening, right? I hope I hope there's a trail to go that way, because that's where I need to go, over there. No, come on, Astra, let's go. So I'm going to do one of those walk with me videos. Try not to get too much off the topic, but so my plan was to go to Mexico this summer. Finally actually have an out-of-country experience and go to Tulum. But then, yeah, I think we were supposed to go turn back there. Yep, we need to go this way. Okay, we just turn around. And then, I made the reservations. And then I realized actually my higher self made me realize that it's been coming up in my field lately, actually in the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, actually. Every once in a while, someone or a friend will say, Kelly, you should try QHHT. I think you'd be really good at it. Because I've done meditations for friends to help them, like on a shamanic journey and stuff. And I've done services for that too a few times. But QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis therapy, and it involves a person going under hypnosis. I don't know what you just ate, Astra, but I hope it wasn't bad. And the therapist, the qualified practitioner, will lead the person under hypnosis and guide them to connect to their higher self. And then there's multiple scenarios you can do with that. And they can help them connect to a higher timeline. They can help them heal an addiction. They can help them emotionally, help them reset their life, like also answer questions like past lives, where they come from, beyond this earth, all of that. And that stuff really fascinates me. And I've watched a lot of QHHT videos that are really amazing. Okay, she's gonna go potty. And I feel really drawn to it. And so this showed up in my field the other day when I was down in Cave Creek, Arizona. And okay, after we're gonna go we'll go on the trail. This way, sweetie. Come here. I was talking with a gal down there who does QHHT. I said, I was telling her like how it keeps coming up. She's like, hey, maybe this is a sign. And I've been really feeling like, where am I going to go career-wise? Like, I want to expand myself. I want to, get to a higher timeline where I'm doing more utilizing more of my gifts to help people and heal people. And being that I have all the clairaudience, clairvoyant, all of that, I think it would be very useful in QHHT. My heart is with helping children in that aspect. Although some people say no children under 18 should do it. However, I think children who have been through trauma and abuse and are confused about themselves and need some kind of guidance. Nope, this way, Astra. I think this technique would be very beneficial. Sorry, I'm puffing because I'm getting warm. I have a vest on and a sweatshirt, and now the sun is starting to. I gotta open up my vest here. Okay. Whew. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay. So, come on, let's keep going. Stop and smelling every single flower. Which we should stop and smell the flowers, yes. But not every single one, because, anyway. Well, I mean, if you want to smell every single one, that's up to you. But she's a dog, and I'm the alpha, so we're going to keep going. Okay. Oh, I'm so warm. Okay. So my higher self showed me yesterday. She's like, you need to cancel your plans to Mexico. Have a staycation at a resort, near home. And then take that time to do the course. To learn the techniques of QHHT. Have a certification of finishing the course. All of that. And I'm going to be going under Julia Cannon. Dolores Cannon's daughter has now taken over the training for QHHT. And so Dolores Cannon is the one who kind of invented QHHT and that whole process. So I want to learn the technique under the one who mastered it. So, and she's very well praised in the spiritual community. So that's why I want to do it under her technique. So yeah, that is my goal. I'm jumping to a higher timeline, and I just am so excited to start this new journey. I also want to talk about some other things. Right now, some people say there's 3 timelines, and perhaps there is. Yeah, there is 3. Okay, my higher self just confirmed that. There's 3 timelines. However, eventually we will get to 2 timelines. So I'm going to ask my higher self, can you explain the 3 different timelines, please? Or show me. Okay, so the first timeline is more the negative one. The one where people are in fear, where they fall under control of a regime that comes after worldwide conflict. Okay, and that's coming up soon. Okay, thank you. That's coming up soon. So many need to be prepared for this. Oh my goodness, now we're going to meet some hikers. So I'm going to have to end this soon, unless we go back a little bit. Here, let's go over here. So, ooh, look at that flower. Oh my goodness. Very beautiful. I love seeing flowers like that in the middle of a desert. Okay. So the second timeline. Okay, so tell me more about this first timeline. Yeah, so they're gonna fall under a regime, they're gonna fall under control. So how do we keep ourselves from not falling into that timeline? Okay, those in higher frequencies, they don't need to worry because they've already detached themselves from the energies of this timeline. Okay, so then the second timeline, and how is that possible? First of all, that's possible by, okay, now we're gonna go this way. Okay, I don't want to stop this video because there's hikers. We're just gonna wait for them to pass by. Ouch. Hi there.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there. Okay. So let's moving forward. Yes. So how do you know that you're not on this timeline? You need to ask yourself these questions. How often do you pay attention to the news feed? How attached are you to worldwide events? Are you tired of the same rhetoric? Are you starting to see the games that the people in charge, more beautiful flowers, the people in charge play with humanity? Are you seeing darkness being exposed? Okay, if you're at that level and you're just starting to realize these things, you are separating yourself from the first timeline going up to the second timeline. Okay? Now, the second timeline is those who are already aware of what's going on. Maybe they learned about it in about like 5 years ago. Okay. In the last 5 years, you've been awakened, you've started a spiritual path, you've started seeking answers, to the meaning of life and why you're here, and you had your awakening, all of that. So those people, their goal is to get to the timeline 3, okay? The highest timeline. Timeline 2 is those people who are awake but may still be entangled yet in the first timeline in some ways. So they're still very much clinging to certain people that are they're allowing certain behavior and addictions or stuff like that to either still continue to take hold of their life, or they are still allowing others to manipulate them and or stuff like that. Or if you are trying so hard to bring your family and friends to awaken and they're not awakening, well, that's not their path. If some people are not meant to awaken in this time. And so they're at a convergence right now. They're literally feeling the tug of war. If you're in the second timeline, you're in the tug of war between the lower timeline and the higher timeline. And you're constantly feeling this within your being. And you need to figure that shit out. Okay? I'm going to be blunt. You need to figure out where you want to be. However, being awakened, you can't go back. Right? For when you see something and when you wake up, you can't unsee it. You know this. Everybody knows this. And so you have to decide, am I going to be the timeline of the highest light, which is towards the new earth? And I'll explain that. That's the third timeline. Okay, so the third timeline, the people in the second timeline need to hurry up and make up their mind, because that time they're going to come to a convergence very soon. Like I said, from the first timeline, a controlling regime is going to come to a precipice very soon. Okay, so if you are in the second timeline and wanting to get to the third timeline, you need to make some decisions. You need to cut out those addictions that are either hurting yourself or others. You need to get rid of toxic behaviors. Also, removing toxic people from your life is number one, because they may be in the lower timeline and you don't want to be entangled with their energy, because they're going to be pulling you back. Okay, timeline number 3. Most of these people have been awakened for at least 10 or more years, and they are already set on this higher timeline. They are very detached from world issues. Most likely, they may be paying attention to what's happening, but they're not attached to it. They are completely removed from any divisions, any kind of mind control. They are not there. You can call these people in their own world. They basically are, because they're creating that new reality. They're in that new reality already, in some of them, so these people are already set on that higher timeline, and they've been awake for more than 10 years at least. I would say 8 to 10, because she's saying 8 to 10 years. Okay. Or more. Okay. So these people are in their own world. They're creating their own reality. They know how to manifest. They're creating their dreams. They find it very easy to, you could say, get what they want, but it's not like they're being selfish. It's just they've learned how the universe works, and God, and staying in gratitude and being thankful and being in the resonance of love and compassion for humanity and themselves. And that is what attracts abundance. And abundance comes in all forms. And it doesn't have to mean wealth. It has to mean opportunities. It can be, like getting a pet. The perfect pet that you've always wanted, right? She's so darling, and she's everything I've always wanted. And I've always wanted a Chihuahua, but actually I really like her mix. I think her mix is really perfect. She's a miniature pincher Chihuahua mix. But, I never thought I would be able to have a dog one day. I never thought it would happen. And then it just kept showing up in my field that I needed to adopt a pet. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I happened to move into a place that actually allows dogs. So I was like, okay, let's see. And I went on the pet app, and I found her right away, and I just knew she was my little angel. Although she's an angel most of the time, 99% of the time. Okay, enough about me. So this third timeline is the highest timeline, and that's the new earth. So when the new earth happens, these other people eventually, so we're still in entanglement of all three. Okay, but eventually those in the first timeline and the second, if you're in the third timeline, those in the first and the second are going to just simply fade away. Fade away out of your life. Certain world events, certain situations are simply not going to exist, because there's going to be enough of the collective that is awake to create this third timeline. And all of a sudden everything will shift. And it's not, some people think there will be a flash of light. There might be, but I've always seen it. I think it has to do with the asteroid Apophis that is going to pass between the sun and the earth in 2029. So we have 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years to figure out what timeline you're on. But actually, okay, she's saying that convergence is happening, okay, between now and 2027. That choice is between now and 2027. So till the end of the year, you have a decision to make. So why is it before 2029? Okay, because of certain regimes that are going to be taking place. Okay. And world events. Catastrophes. Okay. This is what she's downloading to me. Alright, so this has been quite informative, very enlightening. I hope you all enjoyed it. We are about to head home here. I'm ready to go home. I have to do some laundry and enjoy my day off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this transmission. It was lovely to see you. I'm heading to Sedona today. Going to have lunch with a friend in Sedona and bringing Astra. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I love you all. Have a blessed day.